Hi, welcome to Nourishing Body and Soul, the podcast. Get ready to revitalize your mind, body, and soul. We're here to inspire women who are looking to break free from old patterns and ideas to create a life of increased confidence and improved health. Say goodbye to limiting beliefs and hello to new possibilities. So kick back, get ready to have some fun, and let's dive in. We'll uncover tools and insights that can help you build a life that's truly nourishing, body and soul. Hi, I'm Tracy.
I'm Victoria.
And we're so glad that you're here with us today. We're going to be talking about lies today. Lies. But especially insidious kind, because they're lies that we believe about ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
Those are lies. We have lies.
yeah. And hopefully some of these you will have already recognized are lies, but there may be some that we don't even realize are lies, and those are the worst kind. So anything that you want to add before we jump into these number of lies?
Like jump in.
Okay.
I want to like start
Let's
swimming in
jump
the
in.
lies. A whole swimming pool full of snakes. Let's
You
go.
want to jump into that?
Let's go.
Something's wrong with you.
Yeah. There is something wrong with me. Yes. That has been said many times.
In the best of ways.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
All right. So our first lie that we want to talk about is that my weight impacts my worth. And we've talked about this. This is like right up our alley, this particular one. And we've talked so much about this, but
it's hard.
It is.
Because I was just thinking the other day, because I like this dude and it's long and complicated because of course it is. But anyway, I like this dude and I was thinking I've gained weight because I don't know why. Anyway,
because you were ill before and lost a lot of weight. That's why.
This is my natural. No, anyway, so I've gained weight since he's known me even. And so I was thinking like, what's he gonna think, or what's he think about my weight at this, and I thought, like your voice came into my head and it's like, you are not your weight. You are not your weight. And I was like, no, I'm not. And it was the first time, like I think I actually 100% believed it. That sounds very bad. Very bad. We've been doing this for like.
Can you hear the angels singing? I can hear the angels singing.
Yay, look. That's not angelic, but there we go. Anyway, yeah, that happened. So I was like, okay, well, I'm a lot more than my weight. So there we go.
Wonderful. Yes. But how often? I mean, how often have we not gone to the school reunion? Have we
true.
Gone in the water at the swimming pool or at the lake? We'll just stay here in my shorts and my t-shirt, and this is enough discomfort for me to even be in shorts and t-shirt. And how many times have we not bought the dress that we loved because you can just see my belly too much in this, it shows too much of my pooch, whatever,
or I don't want to buy that size because I know I'm going to lose weight.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That thing. Anyway, I think it's a pretty massive lie that we all tell ourselves, because I've been doing this now, not quite a year, but coming up on a year of doing this. And that was the first time I believed it. I know.
And wasn't that a wonderful feeling?
It was, because I was like, I've got a lot more to offer.
So big lie that our weight determines our worth. And that is just not the case. Is not the case. And the next lie is that I should only be seen when I'm happy. Social media really has perpetuated this so much that put on the good face. Nobody wants to hear you being a Debbie Downer. Don't complain. Be good. Be nice. Especially women. But just be nice.
Just smile. No matter what, just smile.
And that's the face that we have to present, period. And especially too, I think as women, if we don't, then the perception is, how awful we are, and how it's like you're either this nice good girl or you're just a bossy witch.
Yeah.
you know? And we don't have to put on that face. We don't have to, it doesn't, if we're not happy all the time,
Yeah.
not only does it not diminish our worth, it actually increases it because it means we're actually human.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hallelujah for that.
That's a thing that I still do. Like, I'm like, okay, just go, just smile, just nod your head. You know, there's a lot of like nodding my head and smiling.
Legitimately, there are times where it's like, we're not going to be in the grocery store and pass some stranger and have them go, oh, hey, how you doing? Somebody we've never met and go, or,
Yeah.
although sometimes that can be okay. But the idea that we have to just put on this good face all the time, and that's what we have to offer the world. And that's something I struggle with that a little bit, just because not feeling like that diminishes my worth, but because I am a diehard optimist. And so I do often see, okay, but tell me your hard situation. And I will either say, but, or I have to fight myself not to, if it's not a time that somebody's gonna need to hear that.
Yeah.
And so, but feeling like, if, it's just so much nicer to be around happy people, that I have, we just need to realize that all of our emotions are okay.
Yeah.
All of our emotions are
I think sometimes if you're not feeling like 100% and you have to go to say like a wedding, wedding reception where you have to go around and talk to people, and it's just like, oh, I don't know if I can do that, but it's important.
Yeah.
And you want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think those are the kind of situations where it's like, I guess I'll stay home. I'll be like drag the party down or whatever.
Yeah, when we feel like we have to be happy or don't be there.
Yeah.
But either way, it doesn't decrease our value. It doesn't diminish our value if we are the one that shows up and is not happy.
Yeah.
It's not like we should expect to be happy all the time. That's not healthy either. We have a range of emotions for a reason. It's how we're designed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the next one is, I don't deserve better.
That.
I don't know. If you're a person who has never felt this, please contact me.
Yeah.
Because I want to hear how that's possible. I think it's something that I think all of us. I mean,
I think, I don't know if we think about that like
consciously.
Yeah, consciously on the top of our head, but I think that there's like, there's an aspect of I don't deserve whatever. I don't deserve to feel healthy. I don't deserve to feel, in that job or whatever. I think there's a lot of deserving.
Yeah. And even if, like you said, even if we don't think about it consciously, it comes up as far as what we're willing to allow. If we're staying in a relationship that's not a healthy relationship, it's because we feel like that's what we deserve. That's what we can expect from this is how relationships are, and it's just what I can expect, instead of going, no, this is either this relationship needs to get healthy or I'm done with it. That we just, and it just shows up in so many ways. So many ways.
Yeah, I dated the guy that was not good, and I understood why he wasn't good. So I put up with a lot but in the end, it was me that like suffered. In the end, it was me that was like, yeah, I don't deserve any better. I deserve this. And that's not really me when it comes to relationships. So I left. And it was hard for me to like get back to a place. In fact, I was thinking about this for no reason, but I guess I had this DVD that somebody gave me for a joke that was G.I. Jane. And I watched it every single night. I would come home from work, which was going not great at the time, and I would watch G.I. Jane, and I'm like, okay, if she can do that, I can go on. I'm not going to shave my head, but I can go on. And then I go to work, and like I felt like I was in battle, and I'd feel like I was in a battle, and my heart was in a battle, and I'd come home and I watched G.I. Jane. So yeah, was it silly? And somebody found it, my DVD, like a few years later, and like, what the heck? I was like, yeah, I watched it every night for like 2 months. Yeah. Anyway, whatever gets you through.
Yeah.
Whatever gets your confidence back.
Yeah. Yeah. And oh my gosh, this one is like me and that flashing neon lights.
What?
I don't have anything special to offer.
What?
No,
You think that's you?
no, I have struggled with that so much.
Wow, like when?
Basically all my life. I just
Now?
not now, no, not so much now. Even if something's gonna flare up for me, that's gonna be most likely what's gonna flare up for me.
Wow, that seems like
Going
crazy because you have so much to offer and you're like the friends that you have and the what you do for them and like what? That's just shocking to me. Like I think of all of those, I would think that would be the one that you would not struggle with.
No, I just it goes well, you know, I can tell you exactly where it came from when I was a kid and feeling like whatever, you know, just everything being the youngest. I've talked about this before, being the youngest of 6 kids, everything that I went through, my siblings had already gone through. I just felt like whatever. And so it made me feel like, oh, well, there's nothing special about me. This thing that's hard, it's not just hard for me. Everybody's gone through this. So there's nothing special about me. I'm just very average. And so anything that I learn, obviously somebody else has learned it before.
Yeah.
Anything that I can do, somebody else has done it before and done it better. And that's really, that's been something I really have come up. I had a pretty good handle on it. But then as I've been trying to build this business, that's come up a lot. It's like, what in the world? And
oh my God. I'm just shocked because that just seems like you offer so much to like the people in your church and the people around you that are friends and the community and like I have all these talents and
I try to offer a lot, and there's part of me that goes, oh, this is good, this is a good offering, but in the back of my mind it's like, yeah, and anybody else could do this too. I mean, so I'm doing it and that's a good thing, but it's not anything that anybody else couldn't do.
No.
And so, yeah, this one.
Do you know what? Just even if you didn't do all of this and you just existed how you existed when I first met you, like that, you're offering things that nobody can offer.
And that's true for everybody. And it is absolutely true for everybody because everybody with our own inherent worth, and as we've talked about before, that there's only one of us ever, period.
Exactly.
And so because of that, everybody has something unique to offer. And so intellectually, I know that, and that's what saves me, is because when I hear this, oh, well, but it's like, no, stop.
Dude, you need to call me.
Stop. That's
or just text me or something. So when that thought comes up, oh my gosh, no.
She's a very good cheerleader.
I'll prepare. I'll prepare. Because that's crazy to me. That is like the craziest thing I think I've heard come out of your mouth. And I've heard some crazies off camera.
Well, I'm glad to hear that because it means that I've done a good job getting a handle on that.
Yes.
I didn't expect that to be such a shock to you.
It's a shock because you do so much and you're like the way you handle everything is just a special way.
But again, the voice in my head is like, but anybody could do that.
All right, well, we're gonna work on
anybody could do it and do it better.
No, working on it.
No, that's what's like. I've got the self-talk to handle that, but this is one that I have really struggled with. But
crazy.
It's a lie I have believed. And if you're believing it too, don't waste any more time believing it. It's not true.
We talked
it's
about
not true.
How we are unique in this world.
For 100%.
Like legit.
Yep. Okay. Next one. I need to please them to love me.
Yes. Yes, that is one for me. Like, if I'm not pleasing them, then they're not gonna. I have to play, like either I please them by buying them presents or like my family, or I please them by like trying to tell jokes, or mostly it's just trying to tell jokes. I was like buying them presents too, but I've done that where I've like bought my nieces, like my little nieces, like I took her to Target and I was like, here, pick out what you want because I wanted her to love me.
Yeah. Here you go. Here's a quote for you from Paulo Coelho. If you live to please others, everyone will love you except yourself. How's that for a quote?
Ouch.
Yeah,
Ouch.
like, whew.
Yeah.
And I love how that Jamie, in her book Worthy, Jamie explains this as that if we come into a relationship
Mhm.
being, okay, I'm gonna alter this about me, or I'm gonna do this particular
Yeah.
thing so that you will like me, so that you will love me,
Mhm.
you're not bringing your authentic self. And if you're not bringing your authentic self, it's not a real relationship.
Yeah.
It's not you that they love, it's a version of you.
Yeah.
She calls it when you show up as your representative. You're not showing up as you.
Yeah.
You're coming up as a representative of you. It's not the real you. And so then people will love your representative.
Mhm.
It's not a real thing.
And that's hard to keep up.
Uh-huh.
I was in that kind of a relationship too. Dated a few guys, but yeah.
Are we keeping track?
Yeah, he was.
Maybe have this
Yeah, he
going
was the
on.
one that was like anorexic for me.
Oh.
I was like, at some point, I was like, "Yeah, are you anorexic for me?" Because I think I am. I'm trying to work on it, but yeah, no. And I was like, I had to be this person, like this very specific person that, you know, did everything that he wanted me to do, and be the kind of person like go hiking on the weekend, and you know, go to the opera during the week, and like that kind.
Yeah.
I like going in nature, but I didn't like backpacking to, you know, high heaven. But anyway, yeah, and I like going to the opera, so that was okay. But like it was just like
Yeah.
what they say, like here's what a perfect girl should be, and then I just tried to be that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. Lies.
I-
Lies.
I should tell you this.
Okay.
So one day, so I had a boyfriend, and it's the same one that was not this one, but the one before I was talking about. But anyway, he just said stuff, and it didn't ever quite ring true. But they were nice things, but like it didn't quite ring true. And then one day, like we broke up. And then one day I just saw, I think it was High Fidelity kind of came on TV, and with John Cusack. And I watched it, and I was like, holy cow, those are quotes from like random quotes, not like famous quotes from the movie, but random quotes for the movie. So I thought, well, that's weird. Let me see, like Con Air, I think was one. And so I watched that. He basically took John Cusack, and he always was quoting movies anyway, but he basically took John Cusack's like body of work
And made it the
like
script
even
for his
this
life.
yeah, I had to watch all of these movies, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was dating John Cusack, except
And you didn't even know.
yeah, I didn't even know. I knew something didn't quite feel right, but I didn't realize he was just speaking in John Cusack.
He wasn't even showing up as his representative. He was showing up as John Cusack's representative.
John Cusack's representative. And trust me, it didn't go well. Yeah.
That's
But he always
interesting.
had some like very poignant line when I wanted to break up. He always had that song thing, and I'm like, oh, maybe he's yeah. Because I tried to break up with him like 50 times.
And it worked in the movies, and it worked on you
Yeah,
for a while.
it did. Boy,
This is why these
I was
writers are
wow,
wealthy.
if I had known this, I would have at least called him out on it. But anyway, whatever. It's too late. I dated
Start calling him
Cusack.
John.
Yeah, yeah. I dated John Cusack.
Oh, that's funny.
Mhm.
That's funny.
Yeah. I know my life. Do it.
Nothing is not entertaining. Oh, gosh. All right, our next lie is that if I stand out, I'll get kicked out. How often have we made ourselves smaller so that we can remain part of a
Whatever
given
it
group?
was, yeah.
Yeah, don't be too. Again, I mean, it applies to men and women, but there's so many ways that with women, it's like that Barbie speech points
Yeah.
this out. America
Yeah.
Ferrer's speech in the
Mhm.
Barbie movie points this out so well. It's like, you know, don't be too this, don't be too that, don't be too this, but do this and do this and do
Mhm.
this. And you know, it's like you have to do your best, but don't be so good that you're gonna make other people feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it's this whole
Yeah. That's the thing. Well, for me,
And-
you know, like I can be kind of like, woo, in the party, you know what I mean? Like I can be the one who's talking and, just being loud.
bubbly and entertaining. and
Yeah, something like that. I mean, people ask me back, so it can't be that bad. But I'll go home and I'll go over every single thing I said. And I'll think, that was too much. That was too much. That was too much. That wasn't enough. That, like I'll go over that and it will just go through my head until I see the people again. And then I realize, no, they haven't been thinking about all the stupid things I said, stupid, whatever. And yeah, and then I'm like, okay, I guess it was okay because they asked me back and
Yeah.
nobody's talking to me about how, that was too much that I said.
Yeah, but there's that fear of, if I am too much of
Mhm.
whatever,
Yeah,
then I'll get kicked out.
Yeah.
I won't be accepted here.
yeah.
And that's just, no, just,
Mhm. You don't want to belong to that group anyway.
no,
Mhm.
yeah, you don't want people who are going to need you to stay small
Yeah,
so that they can be comfortable around
I
you.
have like a trivia night group. Well, I didn't have it. There was a trivia night group. Some people that I worked with, the same people that didn't think I was funny, but anyway, I am competitive. I cannot have that. I'm competitive and I used to like win always at Trivial Pursuit. So I really like trivia. Well, I guess I just went there to drink. They didn't really think that they wanted to win. Well, I wanted to win. And so I was like yelling out the answers and I was doing what you're supposed to do when we were winning. And I'm like, this is great. And I look around and they're all just like, oh, we're supposed to just be drinking beer if you can get with it. And
Calm it down, Hermione.
and they never invited me back again, ever. And I was like, well, they weren't wanting to win. So what would I go to some game night to not win? Yeah. That was when I was too, I stood out too much.
Yeah, and in that regard, in essence, you did get kicked out.
Yeah.
But realizing that that's not,
I didn't want that
Okay.
group anyway.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
good.
They weren't as smart either. That
Yeah.
I needed to be. Like I only know certain things, like you need somebody to fill in the
If you know
gaps.
sports, you need somebody who knows geography.
Exactly. Yeah, I know poetry, I know baseball, and then, somebody else needs to fill out. Yeah, geography is a good one.
Yeah,
Math,
yeah, I think
movies.
this,
Okay, sorry.
to me, this is most insidious when it's like you feel like there's some progress that you can make in your life. You want to
Mhm.
grow in this area, you want to become better at this,
Mhm.
and the people around, and well, you had a boyfriend who didn't want you to lose weight, he wanted
Oh,
you to
yeah.
gain weight. And something like, it's like,
Yeah,
this is
yeah, I've
not,
had them all,
this is
yeah.
not healthy.
No.
But when you have, like, especially if you have a big dream that you want to go after, and part of what holds you back is that you don't want the people around you to feel uncomfortable.
Mm. Mhm.
And, or people who might say things like, oh, now that you've got that new job, you just think you're too good for us.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
well, if you do feel like you're too good for them because of a new job, then that's on you and something you need to look at, but.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
if you're
happens,
not,
I
then
think,
it's like, it's not you, it's them and their insecurities. And that's just, feeling like, okay, well, that would be a fantastic job, but I don't really want to go after that because then what it would do to
Yeah.
these,
this
my
dynamic,
friends,
I
this group that I'm part of.
think like losing weight.
Oh, that's a big.
That's a big thing that happens. Like if you lose weight or
Mhm.
somebody loses weight in your group and you feel like, well, do they think they're better than me? And now I can't eat. And they were my eating buddy and we were complaining about weight together and now we can't. And there's a lot that
And now
goes into that.
that you lost weight, you're just gonna sit there and judge me because I haven't. It's like,
Mhm.
not even.
Yeah.
But that's,
It's like, I
it
just
brings up
lost
people's
weight.
insecurities.
It
And
really
so they
does.
try to,
Women's.
yeah,
Mhm.
so it's, anyway, so yeah, if I stand up, I'll get kicked out.
Mhm.
Well, if you are kicked out because you're standing out, then maybe that's not a place you wanted to be, or maybe it is a place you want to be, but you want to help your friends grow too.
Mhm.
And next one is, if I'm an imposter and not enough on my own.
That's the John Cusack dude.
He
legit was an
Yes.
imposter.
Yes. Yes. But also the imposter syndrome, we've heard so much about imposter syndrome. And that's just,
Yeah, that I'm not good enough for this job or
yeah.
this speech or
Yeah.
whatever.
And I've heard a few different things lately on imposter syndrome. It's like, yes. And because there's something about how to overcome imposter syndrome, blah, blah, blah. And I was just watching this thing, America Ferrera again.
Mhm.
I don't know what it was, and I have no idea how I came across this clip, but she was just like, I get asked that a lot. And she said, because honestly, there are many times I do feel like that, but let me reframe that a little bit, because if I feel like an imposter somewhere, usually it's because
Mhm.
I'm the first person that I know of that's in this situation.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. And I may feel like I don't belong
Mhm.
here because people like me haven't belonged here before.
Yeah. Interesting.
And so I'm like, oh, that's a good take on
Mhm.
imposter syndrome.
I think women
And
in positions, higher positions at work feel like an imposter syndrome, like if, you're a C at the C level
mhm,
anywhere, with
Yeah.
CEO, CFO, whatever,
Yeah.
and you're a woman, I think that happens.
it's super common, and it's about worth. Because you know what? If you're there, you got there.
Mhm.
And by virtue of the fact that you got there, you belong there.
Mhm. Yeah.
You're not an imposter.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, so that's just, you are enough on your own.
Yeah.
You don't have to memorize John Cusack lines.
Mhm. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Mhm.
Another lie is that if I'm me, I won't be loved. That's
Yeah, that's a thing.
and again, this is when I think that, I mean, I'm sure that there probably are people who have not felt this way, but I think they're in the minority. In my experience, they're in the minority. And that's a really healthy self view if you have never felt that way.
Mhm.
But it's just that goes back to how many different times and how many ways have we felt like we're not enough.
Yeah.
And if I'm just me, if I'm my analytical self, or my weird little self, or my a funny little self, or my too smart of self, or my socially awkward self, or if I'm just me, or my opinionated self, then who's gonna love that?
Yeah.
And that's
hard. It's a hard though
It
feeling. Even with my family, sometimes I'm like I said, like I'll have a conversation or whatever, and then I'll go and I'll just like I don't want to. It's not like I'm on purpose trying to, and it just won't leave my head. Like every word I've said and every word they said, and I analyze it and think, oh, that wasn't good, that was good, that was okay, that that wasn't good. When they said this, they didn't understand, but I need to go repair this right away. And so that I can say all the perfect things and then they'll love me.
We were having a conversation not too long ago, and I don't even remember what we're talking about now, but you said afterwards, like, well, I'm afraid this is boring. And do you remember what I said to you?
Oh, I don't know.
It doesn't, it's like, that's on me. That's for me to decide. That's not for you to decide.
Oh, well,
But
sometimes.
that's such a, I mean, well, I've thought the same thing. There have been so many times where I haven't said something, I thought, oh, this is just gonna, I mean, it's interesting to me, but it's not gonna be interesting to anybody else, so just shut up, but whatever.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be the boring one. And especially with my background in theater, heaven forbid being boring.
With what?
With theater.
Oh,
heaven
theater.
forbid being boring. But
We never talked about the theater.
my background in theater, being a theater person.
Yeah.
It's like heaven forbid.
Oh,
that
yeah,
group of
that's
people.
the worst.
Heaven
You
forbid.
yeah,
That's a big
that's
insult.
your sin. That's your sin.
But
Greatest
it's
sin.
just like, it's not just. If we can just learn to just be ourselves and let that be our really legitimately easy to say, not as easy to feel, let that be our gift to the world, that be our contribution to the world. Nobody else can make that contribution.
Oh, even that just sounds like too much for me. That just sounds like too much. Like I'm just gonna be myself and that's my contribution to the world.
Because
that's too much.
All you can do is contribute you, because it's all you have. And if you're not contributing that, then nobody else can.
Okay.
Nobody else can.
Okay.
And yeah, there are people that think you're boring, but you know what? You're gonna think they're boring on various topics too. It's like, there are gonna be things that's like, okay. I have no interest in what this person's saying, but I'm interested in that person.
Yeah.
But if people can't get to that point, like, well, I'm interested in you, maybe not what you're talking about, but you, then that's on them. It's not on you. So it's
Yeah.
just, it's the only way we can, and going back again to the whole showing up as a representative, if we're not authentically ourselves, then it's not us that's being loved anyway.
Mhm.
And that's
Yeah.
something to think
Yeah,
about.
that in the end, that is like, the one guy that there's so many. The one guy that like wanted me anorexic, the one I like was okay, well, I can wear high heels and hiking boots and
Mhm.
one day or the next day or whatever. Like when he did say he loved me finally, it did feel like hollow, kind of, because I thought, well, yeah, it's not
me. Love is who you think I am, but
yeah,
I'm not
here's what
really.
I presented to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what you love. Yeah.
Yeah.
So really the only way that we can be loved is if we are ourselves. And that again, a lot easier said than lived,
Yes. Yes.
but
Yes.
something to be aware of so that we can work with them.
Yes.
And then our final lie is that labels are permanent. That's, what do we think we are? I'm the dumb one. All my friends are smarter than me. I'm the dumb one. And that we get this idea that labels are permanent. And especially the labels that we put on ourselves.
Mhm.
I'm the flaky one. I'm the whatever. And obviously and too, sometimes the good labels too, the more positive labels. Like, that's not necessarily a permanent thing either. And
Sometimes
it's
we
okay.
put labels on ourselves or we get labeled in high school.
Mhm.
And then we just hold on to that.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing,
Yeah.
like somebody in
That's how I am.
in math class who was, filled with acne, but decided to say something mean, you hold on to that label and think, well, that's who I am.
Yeah.
Sometimes. I mean, that's
Yeah.
kind of a vivid example, but still.
Well, and especially it could be a lot of the labels that we accept and live with are ones that did come up in our formative years, when we're the kid who's called too talkative, too loud. We just grew up thinking, oh, well, I'm just a loud person. And then in times where then when we show up to someplace, even if we're not feeling, going back to the I have to be happy all the time, even if we're not feeling, outgoing and all that, we feel like we have to show up like that anyway because that's who we are.
Yeah, that's our label.
And
it's good to reevaluate those.
Yeah,
every once in a while.
It is, and go which one, which
that doesn't
what fits
serve me.
doesn't,
Yeah,
this serving is not serving.
Yeah, Connor
So.
Gillespie, get out of my head with your math stupidness.
So these lies that really keep us from recognizing and really feeling our worth just for who we are. It's really important to recognize these and to remind ourselves as they come up. This is a lie. This is a lie.
Yeah.
When I'm feeling like, I don't have anything special to offer, I need to tell myself, that's a lie. Because I realize that maybe I'll come to the point in my life where I never feel that again. It was like, oh, last time I felt that is the last time I'm ever going to feel that. Last time I thought that is the last time I ever got. But maybe I won't.
Yeah.
I may be 100 years old going, oh, well, I don't have anything really special to offer. But being able to recognize that, oh, no, that's a lie. I know better than that. It doesn't mean it's not going to come up. It just means that I can dismiss it.
You don't even have to wait till you're 100.
Well, no, I don't know when it's gonna come up, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't believe it, but it doesn't mean that thought's not still gonna come up. Because those insecurities that we have, they do show their ugly little faces. And they can show them all of our lives. But the thing is, we can learn to go, oh, you're a lie. Be gone.
Yeah.
Instead of entertaining them, inviting them in and sitting them down for a cup of hot chocolate. It's like
making a permanent residence in your head.
Be gone. You're not invited here anymore. Nice knocking on the door, but find another neighborhood.
Yep.
Or don't.
So lies.
Yep.
Get rid of them.
Yep. Because you have value, just as you. Period.
And you're bringing things special to this world. All right.
Yep. So have a great week. Remember to nourish your body and your soul.
Have a good week, everybody. See you later.
Hey, if you want to help us grow this podcast that we're having fun doing, like and subscribe.
And comment.
Oh, yes.
Please comment. We will comment back.
Yes, we will. Mm-hmm. Hey, it's Tracy. If this was helpful and you'd like more, follow me on Instagram at tlastel.nourishingbodyansoul, or on Facebook or YouTube at Nourishing Body and Soul, or you can find my website at nourishingbodysoul.com. Thanks for tuning in to Nourishing Body and Soul, the podcast. Before we wrap up, we just want to remind you that the information we share in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only and is not intended for medical advice. While we hope you find our discussions helpful, we strongly recommend that you seek the advice of a qualified healthcare provider before making any changes to your diet, exercise routine, or any other aspect of your health. We also want to make it clear that the host, guests, and producers of this podcast are not responsible for any adverse effects or consequences that may result from the use of any information or suggestion discussed in this podcast. We care about your well-being, but we can't take responsibility for individual outcomes. By listening to this podcast, you agree to indemnify and hold harmless the host, guests, and producers of this podcast from and against any and all claims, damages, liabilities, costs, and expenses arising from your use of the information provided in this podcast. We're so grateful for your support, and we hope you keep listening and learning with us. Thanks.